Hello, this is Adam Scher, and this is the SureNet Calypso version 037 Calypso client demo. I have a virtual machine here. It's running Ubuntu. Doesn't have Calypso on it yet, so we're going to download it. Okay, so it's installed. We're going to become root, and we're going to go to the op Calypso bin directory, and there's our setup. So we're going to run setup. We're going to give our company a name. We'll just call it demo. Our country, state, town. This will be basically the name of their network. We usually like to use the name of the company. I'll just use demo. We like localnet. The administrator name, you can just pick admin if you want. An admin password, a password for Mac clients later. Where to install. The defaults should be right, but if anything's not correct, simply correct it. You get a quick summary, and let's begin installing. The one thing I've done is pre-download all of the packages to save some time for this video, so it's going to start installing them. And we've preceded a configuration to all the packages, so they won't prompt you for any config things like Ubuntu usually does. It's just dummy data that gets put in there, so you don't get bothered. Once all the services are done, then we'll actually configure them. So now we're stopping all the services that were just installed. Ubuntu Auto starts them. There we go. This is generating the certificate authority, which we need for SSL, and we'll be able to manage later. There we are. It's finished installing. And if we take a quick look at the users, we can see there's the admin user. It's been installed. I can log in as that user with the password that we assigned it during the installation. Creates my home directory. I have Kerberos tickets. And I can browse the LDAP. So that's the installation of the server. Now we'll go over to one of the clients. Actually, before we do that, we're going to have to install the DHCP server. So we're going to opt Calypso bin, and we'll run the DHCP installer. It's going to ask for the network name. Usually it auto-detects the settings. If it doesn't auto-detect your settings correctly, simply put them in. Put in your username, and password. And there we go. DHCP is installed, and so is the DDNS service, which will read your DHCP records and automatically put them into DNS. So let's start up the Ubuntu box. So this is going to be our Ubuntu client. There we are. Wait for it to get a DHCP address, and it's got it. So now we've just got to go get the client. So here we have the Calypso client for Ubuntu Linux. We'll download that. And we'll install the package. Downloaded, it's installed. So now we just have to run it. Set it away. It's important, the client needs to run as root. So up, Calypso, Calypso client. That's all there is to it. The realm is going to be demo.localnet that we set up when we did the server install. So we'll join. It's going to ask for your username and password for the admin user you created, or any users you specify as admins in the future. And what this is going to do is download all the packages it needs and install and configure them just like it did for the server. The Calypso client is currently working for Ubuntu, Red Hat, OpenSUSE, and CentOS. More distributions to come. It will be working for both GNOME and KDE, especially for the group policy, and I'll show you guys that a little later. It's finished downloading, so you can see in the background it's installing the packages. These are also pre-seeded, so it's not going to prompt you for any configuration things. It's going to do everything, pulling configuration from the LDAP and from the settings we typed in here, which is the computer name and the realm. What it's doing is it's going to connect out to the admin server. It's going to create LDAP account, a Kerberos account. It's done those things. It's configured the client. In order to log in, we're going to have to restart the GUI. So we'll say yes. Which is something on this virtual server does not like doing. So we'll just do it by hand. On full computers, this works no problem, never had an issue. We're at our login screen, and our username, and the password. And there it is. We've logged in as a Calypso user. It's created our home directory. And if I do a quick K-list for you, you can see I have my Kerberos credentials. I can browse the LDAP server, so I'm going to get all my policies. And I'll be able to connect to file servers using Kerberos credentials. So that's handy. I'll exit out of that for now. And what I will go is go get the Calypso control, which is our group policy functionality. So there's our Calypso control for Ubuntu Linux. Hold down that. Okay. So right now, one of the few things we don't have working in the admin tool is creating group policies. So what I will do is download them on the server and import them manually. So there's the actual control. You can see it's pretty simple. Again, in newer versions of the admin tool, which I'll be demoing in another screencast, we will do this in the graphical interface, so no need to worry about all this stuff right here. This will be nice and simple too. And what this is going to do is it's going to set the background from a folder on the server, and what this policy is set to get it from is the net logon folder. And it's going to be looking for a file called back.jpg. So there it is. That should be all set. So we'll go back to our Ubuntu client. And we'll install Calypso control. That's all there is to it. There's no more configuration than that. We'll log out. Okay. Log back in. Calypso control pops up. And it finds the background and it sets it for us. And that's how we do our policies. So that's it working under Linux. We'll shut Linux down.